Bungie finally brought back Judgment, and there's a lot to look at here because it used to be a kinetic weapon and it fell really, really far behind to the point that it had really zero reason to farm for just because it was just power crept. The only reason why you would use it is just you like the look of it, which is a really valid reason. I mean, these things look sick. I love the nostalgia feel of these guns too, just absolutely great. But if we're looking at just the base stats itself, there's a lot good and a lot bad here with the perks and the stats combined. So let's just go right into it. If you enjoy this video just comparing these hand cannons, drop a like. I'll appreciate it a ton. Or else. So just looking at the stats, we have 44 range, 42 stability, 42 handling, 40 reload speed, 75 aim assist, and 9 in the magazine. And I don't mean to trash on this gun right away, but those are all worse than Eyasluna off the bat. Just putting it out there right away. But we have some really cool perks, mainly Headstone in that third slot, and I think this is where this gun becomes really special. No other hand cannon or Stasis primary, I think for that matter, has Headstone like this. And this allows for you to pair Headstone with like a damage perk like Adrenaline Junkie or Multi-Kill Clip. We also have the new Origin trait, which gives like 5 or 10 range, but on the other side of the mag, it gives like 1 to 3% damage. It's not something huge, but damage is damage. For the other perks in that third slot, I don't think any of them are really worth it. I think from there, just there's better options. I think Headstone really should be the only thing you're looking for on this thing, which sucks, but then comparing this to just like spare rations, just for example, because spare rations also something got brought back and it got brought back with lower stats. Spare ration only loses out in range, and it's by a little bit. So I think spare rations absolutely walks this thing too, comparing them as both brought back weapons. But now looking at Eyasluna, which is like the direct comparison, I feel like this is where the real meat and potatoes is, because Eyasluna is the other hand cannon that's Stasis with Headstone, but Eyasluna here has Headstone in that fourth slot and no Origin trait either. Keep that in mind. Maybe like 3 years from now we'll get one, but I mean we're not even close to that at this point. So Eyasluna range 51, stability 64, huge increase compared to Judgment. Handling 49, reload speed 45, aim assist 80, and 11 in the mag. Eyasluna, stats wise, wrecks Judgment, and you feel it too when you're using the guns. Eyasluna is definitely a more consistent feeling weapon, but it does have Headstone in the fourth slot, which is, damage perk, consistency perk alongside Headstone is really where you start to compare these guns and like separate them. But with these being 140 hand cannons, is a damage perk really necessary? And I'd say no in PvP specifically. In PvE, obviously, you want all the damage you can get, but PvP, I think no. Yet there is something to note that if with Stasis you struggle a lot with just survivability, I think Eyasluna also takes the cake there because it has Unrelenting, which can proc off of Headstone's kills. Something that Judgment just doesn't really have. It just has straight damage. I'm just looking real quick. Yeah, no, there's nothing really for, gaining health unless you're using Stasis Titan and getting like that overshield. That's really niche. So if you're looking to stay alive more, but maybe dish out a little less damage, maybe Eyasluna is the way to go for you. So now, is it worth farming? Now, I think for PvE, it definitely is. And PvP, if you like the look of the gun, and if Headstone being in that third column is that important to you, then this is the perfect gun for you. But just comparing this with the feel of like the newer hand cannons, it's just night and day. This thing just feels like it just goes hog wild in your hands when you're trying to shoot something straight. Like I have a 99 stability Austringer, and damn, like it's not even close. It really isn't close. So that's why I say for PvP, if you're that big of a fan of Headstone and you maybe want to get like something cool with like Adrenaline Junkie or multi-kill clip, hell yeah, more power to you. But it's definitely not a best in slot or even the best Stasis 140 for that matter. Now looking into PvE with this, I think that the stats aren't as important here. The trade-off of worse stats for Headstone with the damage perk, I think that trade-off is definitely worth it. So if you're a huge Stasis fan in PvE, this might be the best thing for you to get. Because Headstone with Adrenaline Junkie, I don't know if Headstone gets the full damage buff, but it definitely gets something from Adrenaline Junkie. And that's nothing to really, just ignore. It's huge amounts of damage. And yeah, I think it's worth it. Because you're also getting the damage bonus from the origin trait, which is like 3%, but 3% is 3%. Like, you can't ignore that. That's great. So now, God rolls, right? I think there's like 1, 2, maybe God rolls for PvP, and that is all in on stability as much as you can. And here we're going to be looking at stability masterwork, obviously, steady hand, sight, steady rounds, headstone, and if you're going with this, I think opening shot would be the way to go, just because you'd be lacking in range so much. But I think that stability is necessary because I'm telling you, this gun, maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I've just been conditioned to use the best. But this gun just, that headstone in the third slot isn't worth it in PvP. But if you're getting 1-4 PvP, I think that's a god roll. That combination of just all in on stability. And for PvE now, god roll to me is just going to be Headstone plus Adrenaline Junkie. You're going to want to go into on just reload speed probably. And if you get some mag boosting perks, those would be nice too, because again, this thing has 9 in the mag off rib, which isn't that great, but make do. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely worth it for PvE. I really want to farm one, but I think there's other prophecy weapons I want to look at first. So all in all, I think it's really worth it for PvE. Seems like a really solid option that I think will go absolutely insane with the stasis changes that I think are coming. Let me know if I'm wrong in that. I think I saw there were some stasis updates, but I don't know if those stasis updates were just not that huge, or if the Into the Light stuff coming in April, that's when the real juice is gonna hit. But yeah, PvP, I don't think this gun's worth it. Straight up. If you get a god roll, try it out. Let me know what you think about it, but I wouldn't expect too much. And this thing of weapons coming back with really bad stats in comparison, it's not just to this weapon. It's a really common thing. I wish it would get fixed, but here we are. It's how it goes. Bungie probably wants us using the new stuff. Then technically this is new stuff, so then, it's a little weird. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, drop a like. Greatly appreciated. It will your KD. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.